This is Chris from Mountain View looking at using a Google form to create a digital breakout. Now this Google form is also linked to a Google site that has all of the information that the students would need to answer the questions in the Google form. The Google form, when you're making it for a digital breakout, setting up what it is that the students need to do, a lot of that is done over on the website, but giving the place for students to have their names. After their names, this comes where like the real digital breakout is, where you have different puzzles that the students need to solve, and how Google Forms works in this. Using the short answer text, you are then able to say that you want response validation. So your response validation for this question, it was that the text contains quickly and all caps. I did it in all caps because if you did, you could also do all lowercase, but if you have a word where maybe someone would just capitalize the first letter or not, it's very sensitive and it would not accept if you have some capitalized, some not capitalized. So just telling the students that the answer's in all caps, typing in all caps, then you can also give them a hint. If they get it wrong, the hint is then over here. So the options, you can have a number, text, length, or a regular expression. I've chosen text. And then your text can contain, doesn't contain an email address or URL. And then what your text is that you want them to type in, and then giving them a hint as a build-in to help them solve the different problems. Looking at, you could then have things like a color code, red equals R, you give it to them then, and then they would have to find, so there was a puzzle that I had in here and they had to have it in a certain order. And then looking at distance. So distance was in the short answer here. This was then a number and it needed to be equal to what it was. And that was the hint inside the website they would have found up a tree. Then for directional codes, you tell them how many letters it is, you can give them the code, and again, this would be a text and it contains and needs to have it in the right order. So these are ways that you can use Google Forms, and very specifically, again, with response validation, which is down here for short answer questions. So I have a short answer question, they would answer short answer text, and the response validation here would give you your options here to fill in.